PKD Nambiar's view on this. Mr. Nambiar, I mean, do you also agree that this is a setback, not just to the BJP, but to Mr. Modi, given the way he campaigned, despite the fact that there was criticism that this was a lot of time he was spending in West Bengal in the middle of a rising pandemic, despite the fact that he held speeches and rallies, where unmasked, he said, look at the crowds before me. He had to finally suspend it. That after all that, you can't win the state.
On the contrary, why don't you think in the other way around? From a 3-seat in the last election to more than 100 plus seats, isn't it less than a victory? I don't know what logic we apply that you have huge expectation from BJP. We all understand that because it's Prime Minister, which today even he is the tallest leader of the country and he commands such a large amount of popularity in India. We all understand that, but then there is some kind of a logic which we expect from veteran journalists.
No, not just. It's not even necessarily the expectations that we have. It is the BJP's own. No. I'm saying BJP itself kept saying we are crossing 200. We are crossing 200.
Of course, that is the way when you get into a war kind of a situation, when you are going into fight an election, that is the way spirit you need to go. If you go there, no, I'm only going to win 50 seats, and then you go for a action on the ground, that you are defeating yourself even before you entering into the war room. So I believe that even if the BJP is able to get 100 plus, I would say that's a victory. One. Number two, if you really look at overall the 5 states, Srinivasan, for a minute, if you give me.
Just a second. I'll just come to all 5 states. Mr. Nambiar, just a second. I'm coming to all 5 states. I just want to focus on West Bengal right now. I will come to all the 5 states. Let me ask a question. Would you say, okay, you're saying that even the fact that you've come from 3 to 90, perhaps 90 plus, is itself a big achievement, and there's no doubt that is an achievement. But I'm just asking you this, that was it, in hindsight, worth it? Was it worth it for the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, the top 2 members of this government, to devote so much time and energy to a political campaign when the country was going through this huge crisis, which has now completely engulfed us, and that they may have, in a sense, played a role in exacerbating it by holding rallies, by addressing large crowds without any precautions, by sending out a signal that actually everything is fine when everything is not?
So one thing I will tell you, this is applicable to every political party. So
no, I'm asking specifically about the BJP, and I'm specifically asking about the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, because they're not like every other political party. They are currently the heads of the government in India. So they will be held to a different standard.
I always say that we are a country of contradictions. We can have a different kind of a view on that. That I personally feel that it was really bad to see that on the one side we are asking people to wear the mask, on the other side the huge rallies are taking place. It is not only happening in West Bengal. Why we are not talking about Tamil Nadu or Kerala, or for that matter any other states?
Sir, because
the bottom line
what about me is not the answer.
BJP is doing very well. Assam, they are retaining and they are coming as one of the major opposition party, if at all. I don't know right now if it is showing it is more than close to 100 in West Bengal. It can even change any particular time. In Kerala, they are leading into 3 to 4 seats, and in Tamil Nadu, they are opening up their the first time ever in the history. Couple of seats are coming in.
Right.
What else are you expecting? And a serious political party like BJP is expected to do extremely seriously taking every election.
At the cost of,
is not for that.
At the cost of taking your eye off the ball in fighting this life-threatening virus, which is creating havoc, surely you would concede now that the elections are over, the results are before us, that was a huge mistake.
I am of the opinion, personally it is my opinion, that it sends a very, very wrong message to the people. On the one side, people are gasping for oxygen. On the other side, you see huge election rallies are happening, whether it is of the Prime Minister or the Home Minister or the Pinarayi Vijayan, or to that matter to Mamata Banerjee. I think there is some kind of a system which we need to do. But on the contrary, what we are hearing is that it is there is no way that this can be avoided, because we also have another history to attach to it. In the last year, the Bihar election, The Bihar election did prove something else to us. There was no, the pandemic did not
that's not
so bad.
but that's no reason to take that risk again. That's like saying I'll take a carload of people and I'll drive off the cliff and I'll hope that I don't crash. I just somehow manage to land on a tree and nobody dies, so I'll do that again. There's no reason just because Bihar didn't turn out to be a public health catastrophe that you repeat that same experiment.
I am absolutely
Anyway,
with you on this. I am absolutely with you on this, that it did send a very wrong message to the people.
Right.
On the one side, people are dying. On the other side, there is huge election rallies were happening.
Okay.
But blaming only BJP or Prime Minister Modi or Amit Shah is not the right thing. That's all what I wanted to say.
No. Firstly, no one is just blaming them. I'm just simply saying, because you're the BJP spokesperson,
I'm
that
not a
whether
BJP
their
spokesperson.
manner of conducting their political events and rallies and the amount of time they devoted, particularly because they're heading the government, was something that was a big mistake. Anyway,